So the first host was undrafted, but played a 14-year NHL career for 4 different NHL teams: the Islanders, Colorado Rockies, the New Jersey Devils, and the Philadelphia Flyers. Won a Stanley Cup with the Islanders in 1980. As the best mustache in the business. Favorite color commentator of the league, Mr. Chico Resch.
Chico Resch.
I'll say great things about you.
Here.
And our known as Mr. Devil, home speed record for games played. If I remember correctly, was 1,223. He played, which is really impressive. A veteran of recent companies. An enforcer, someone who is currently on MSG as a commentator and also works for Hockey Night Live on MSG. Mr. Fantastic. So,
he was left out of the loop. He was going to be on the ice. You didn't get the memo. Since you're going to do that, and last turning up, please. You didn't get the memo. 15-year career within the NHL, Stanley Cup champion, all the fellow years, correct me if you would know. But in the NHL, the rest of the We have an hour.
Offside, why sometimes do they wave it off and why do they call it other times?
Bruce?
Yeah, you're right. Offside has changed dramatically. It's changed dramatically since these guys played and I played. Now really it's just the intent. Before you actually had to make contact. Kenny passing up to Bruce. Bruce had to touch the puck, but now they deem Kenny pass, and when they had a Bruce and this went in the end, they would still wave it off as not an offside tap. Is that what you were talking about? You're talking about coming up the ice and the passing?
And icing also.
And then you think, well, is it icing? Remember, if you missed each other with a pass, it was icing. Now, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. The icing is waved off if the pass is intended to be made. It doesn't actually have to be on the stick. Before, if Kenny made a bad pass, which never happened, if he did, and his player, his teammate couldn't touch it, it would be icing, but now that's not.
And also, as you know, there's a touch-up, offside kind of rule, which wasn't in play before, they just blow a whistle. So, say the puck's up, and you have a board in the offensive zone. All he has to do is barrel out of the zone, get past the goal line, and get back in, and proceed with play. Before, if you were offside, they would blow a whistle right away. That's just something I think the National Hockey League did to keep the flow, the pace of the game going. But yeah, a lot of times you see guys dumping in, and the guys are still left in the offensive zone, the blue line in there, but now they can just race out and touch up, and that little line go back in.
same play 3 days later, they make it no goal.
Toronto doesn't like the Devils.
My season. It's no goal.
You repeat the question. Okay, sure. His question is he wants to understand why he sees the definition of this kicking motion not going in and out. Why sometimes it's called a good goal in Toronto, why sometimes it's way off. He sees it seems like it's the exact same play, and he's preaching to the choir. I go nuts upstairs. One's a goal, one's not a goal. However, all the technical Chico Resch can add in. Now the actual rule is a pendulum-like kicking motion, where the foot goes forward. That is the supposed to be called no goal. The referees listen all the time. That's why they put Toronto. But a lot of times it's the ref's discretion. He calls no goal and sees they stick with it in Toronto. If he calls it a goal, then they don't usually, even if it's in fact maybe not a goal, it really has to be decisive to overrule it. But from my standpoint, we can direct it. We have that goal. What game was that?
Just recently here.
Matt Cook.
Matt Cook, yes.
Correct. And look, I actually, that's a kick motion. That's that. He definitely put his foot up directly. They say it wasn't a natural motion. So it's a very sticky situation. Breeze's was a bad call. That's not being a homer, but I agree. I know exactly what you're saying.
Did it not remind you of Zach Breeze against the
Yes,
your last couple seconds of the game?
Absolutely.
So it's a well done.
I guess
We ask the same questions sometimes.
bottom line is they don't always get it right. They do their best. I think
He's diplomatic because he's on TV, but I know.
I'm not diplomatic.
Well, you gotta know the line.
Go ahead, Chief. You're going.
I don't know if that will be the reason they say there's a growing sentiment among everyone that they need to take it out. You know, you're talking about the new automatic icing rule, you know, where who's ever at the dock first, they'll be an automatic icing. And everyone knows if they took out the trapezoid, you wouldn't have to worry about that, right? You'd never have to worry about that play.
And the big reason I think we're talking about side racing is defenseman force racing at such high speeds nowadays. We've seen so many serious injuries along the way. They have in college hockey, I believe, correct, Bruce? Yes, obviously they made a margin over the trapezoid. I don't think a goalie should be penalized for his skill, but they felt that puck handling goaltenders was being moved out instead of by the defenseman, by goaltenders so often, and they wanted the other team to be able to forecheck a little bit more, so that was a rule. They're bantering that one around as well.
Well, you know, the other thing was, remember, it came out of the lockout, and before the lockout, the puck shot in, Bruce or Kenny could pick the forechecker, right? So then the goalie could get the puck, he could stand there. Now, well, to get that puck outside the trapezoid, you're going to have pressure in a hurry. So they shouldn't have changed the trapezoid rule if they were going to eliminate the interference in the hooking. You know what I mean? They did the same thing, and it really defeated the purpose. Double whammy. Yes.
When is it illegal for a player to be in the crease? Because sometimes they call it and sometimes they don't. And when
I don't think it's ever.
It's not illegal. I don't know whatsoever. The only
I
thing,
remember when Devils got called.
if you beat the goaltender, if you make contact with the goaltender, it's a penalty, and they're pretty consistent on calling that. You just pick the goalie, but that's always discrepancy as well. But you can be in the crease all the time.
So the puck doesn't have to be in the crease first anymore.
No, correct. You can tip a puck from being in
Why
the crease.
did they even have a crease anymore?
Yeah, it's really just if the goalie is even from making the save. That's if they feel the goalie could have made a save, the puck doesn't win, the guy's in the crease.
He's talking about the overtime there, Chico. You explain that one there. Because I can't decisive everything wondering why it was 5-5, but it's coincidental penalties and lost.
Yeah, I think we did. Was it the correct call or? It was the correct call.
Everybody was together at the time. There's too many men on the ice. However, now I got to refresh my memory. It was the correct call. Was it coincidental minors or was it penny?
So instead of making it a 4
So to both of them, they both came out of the middle.
Right, that's why there was a 5-on-5, correct. And you know, even us with the big long ones, that kind of caught us off guard as well. It doesn't happen too often. She asked him in overtime whether it's going to shoot out. It's multiple ways if it's a 0-0 time, get a shot out. And no, the other was that goaltender not going to shot out.
even in the overtime period, like the initial overtime period now, it's not.
Right, correct.
It's 0-0 going into the shootout.
If somebody scores overtime, he has to get a shot out.
It's a shootout.
She asked if the referees would be so for you guys to hear this as well. If there's a penalty and the ref makes a bad call, good call, they go to videotape. That would open up a whole can of worms and we'll have to not have referees. So it would just take too much time. So I don't think you'll ever see that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you know, it's such a high-paced game. Look, I work the referees more than anybody because I think there's a conflict there, but I guess in all sports they are. And I think we all think that are good. However, they do have a very difficult job, and everything happens at such a high pace that they make split-second decisions. And yes, they make the wrong decisions sometimes, but I don't believe we'll ever see replays of penalties on things like that. It's just on action goals or goals scored line.
I got a question for you. Did anyone turn the TV off the other night when the Rangers and the Devils were playing those three guys fought right TV on. Okay. Well, we understand not everyone likes that necessarily, but that's part of any sport, right? We like parts of it, others don't. But Ken and I were talking, and Bruce will have a meeting that too. There's this new catchphrase, stage fighting. But, as Kenny's going to explain, in that instance, it isn't stage. Like, stage would be like, you know what, it means nothing. I just got to kill some time and I'll go and fight. Can you explain how you broke that down?
Well, you know, me and Chico talked about it, and obviously they'll start two of their more physical guys, Eric Bolton and Cam Jansen, so Ranger County, they're physical guys. And obviously both teams, you know, it doesn't mean they're absolutely going to fight. Yeah, you expect it to happen because these teams, you know, but it's more about the emotion getting that team in the game. So there is a method to that as far as making sure your team's prepared. That will work for the Rangers game and winning the hockey game, which worked for the Devils in the past. You don't see it as often, rarely, very rarely, ever see 3 fights simultaneously. But I'm with Chico. I don't like the catchphrase stage fight. The stage fight to me may be a guy jumping over the bench and directly go after the guy. And these guys decided that they wanted there's emotion in the game, there's intensity. It's tough to understand the player's mind at times, especially if you're physical
goaltender just made a massive save. 2 minutes to go.
Three of us would no, they don't want to risk it.
Not necessarily. He asked me his goal scoring obviously the last time he scored 5 goals. But remember 2 weeks before that, he scored 21 goals. In an 8-game schedule, you're never going to not have some kind of problem. I think personally that we're going to look back at our 14th national hockey league, I believe the goals for, which is certainly a big upgrade from the previous season where they were getting bottom. Skill-wise, talent-wise, besides the mix with them, they can match anything in national hockey. A lot of that comes from the point of defense. They don't have a lot of defensemen that are overall offensive, and that's probably some of it. However, they can watch more puck pressure, but I don't see it as far as skill-wise. You go drought, you hope that doesn't happen. There's not many teams that don't. Los Angeles Kings is a prime example. All the talent in the world that played out there with score 54 or those who are they've got that in
Could be whatever speaker he's. 2 minutes left in the first NCAA game here. Union and
Well, certainly not after what happened in the NFL. Of course, it has to be all the balance that we can NFL. Players are done by that still. Nobody wants to spend the rest of their life in the world. In the old days, I will tell you that.
No.
There's no question about it.
This is in Bridgeport.
I was talking about the rest of the guy. Did something to our player a month earlier to make sure he knew about it. Now, just know that's the last time. I can't believe that when he was on national football. That's the way things work. No, it's not. Kind of a unbreakable role guy works with your players. There's a degree there.
Us is just on their way to being one. So getting very close.
No, I mean, they're leaving the 80s, the early 90s, 12% guys up to fight.
If it goes to
Doesn't
overtime,
happen.
it's closer.
I don't think it does happen. My God, you like to talk, don't you? Oh, my word. You're wearing me up, man. I can leave anytime.
Just wait, one question up here. Right, this gentleman, they're in the box that need club seats. What's your question?
In a shootout situation, can the shooter go into the crease area?
In a shootout situation, can the shooter go into the crease area? I think he can. Yeah.
Okay, that was my son's question. He was too.
Next shootout you get, you go right over the goal and put it in.
We got a couple more. Let's do these last 3 right here.
What are your thoughts on the shootout? No offense to
It looks like Michigan before that. It's Michigan DC.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let Bruce's opinion shootouts.
What do you think of the shootout?
I think it's exciting. I was looking today at the standings, and ironically, the 2 teams at the top of the West and the East are terrible. So how did the top of the East be a 10 or 11?
Yeah.
The 2 teams at the top are probably the worst in the league. Kind of surprising. Like I said, I wouldn't only
From my standpoint, I mean, look, I'm usually old school, and a lot of people don't like me because all-star competition up here, but I tell you, I don't see too many fans sitting in their seats in the shootout game. Nothing more exciting than seeing the whole trip come down on any one versus the shootout. So I kind of enjoyed it, obviously, the benefit of the Devils. You're going to get base here.
us in the air working on the next thing. You know, we've played games that have gone multiple overtimes, so when we sort of extend overtime doesn't make sense.
Last one. If I'm correct to say, Eric Becky, National Hockey Hierarchy, what are they doing right? I can tell you the truth. I think the popularity of the game of ice hockey is an all-time high. And certainly I thought 3-4 years ago, yes, at times I want market emotional aspects of the game, but I think in the last couple of years they've made tremendous strides and now we've got so much more. Especially like I said, last couple of years, it's evolved immensely.
Here, you know what? One more, guys. That's the last question right here.
I have a question. I saw something on TV that in Toronto, when they're reviewing the goal, and I know this using this whole week, there's a lot of games going on, there was one gentleman looking to call that play. Are there a group, or is it just one guy looking at each incident?
That's what